Hi everyone, good morning. Thank you for having me today. I'm really pleased to be with you today and to share with you who we are and how we help our customers to make their digital transformation initiative a successful one and a successful journey. So I'm Mourad Jaakou, I'm General Manager at Axway. So Axway is a global software independent company. We are present almost everywhere in the globe. We do have 26 offices across the globe, in US, Europe, Asia, in Pacific as well. We do have more than 5,000 employees serving and supporting our key customers. And we are a horizontal software company, which means basically that we provide our services to different verticals, so banks, FSI, insurance, retail, government, manufacturers. And we do have the biggest names that are using our solutions, and they trust us to handle their mission-critical business relying on Axway technology. So we do have also a large ecosystem of partners in terms of integration, but also partners in terms of technology as well. And as I mentioned, our mission is basically to handle any type of interaction of our customers, which basically means we connect our customers to their external ecosystem, but also to their internal ecosystem. What that means, basically, is we help our customers to deal with their suppliers or to ship their product to their clients. It can be based on any type of interaction, so it can be a file, it can be a message, it can be an API, it can be an event. Actually, we are completely agnostic. So Axway is recognized as a leader by different analysts, so by the Gartner and the Forrester as well. So it has been now 9 years that we are recognized as a leader in terms of Gartner Magic Quadrant, and by the Forrester as well. So if you look at the next challenges, I think it was mentioned earlier this morning by the panel and Dr. Reem, who basically mentioned that AI is now the next challenge for the businesses. And if you look at the last survey that was published by the Gartner, basically 77% of the CEOs consider that AI will have a significant impact on their businesses. And a large majority of the CEOs agreed that they need to invest more on AI. They will dedicate more budget to support their AI initiatives. A bit less than a third of the CEOs consider that AI will be a key success factor in their business, which basically means that their customers are asking them to provide products with embedded AI in the services and products that these companies provide to their customers. However, they have identified a big challenge, which is basically the security part. A huge majority consider that security is really key in terms of AI adoption, and they have to handle that correctly with the state of the art. A bit less than 50% of these CEOs are completely uncomfortable in defending any security issue, which basically means their focus will be on how to implement AI with the right security protocols. And I think it was mentioned earlier this morning as well by the panel, the three challenges that at Axway we have identified as the key challenges for the companies and for the AI initiatives. So the first one, as I mentioned, is the security part, and it was mentioned in the panel this morning. Data quality, or what I call the accuracy in terms of responses, is the second challenge. And the third one was shared by the Dr. Reem and Walid this morning as well, is the governance. How can you bring governance in your AI initiatives? So now let's look at how Axway can help to basically handle all these challenges. So first, in terms of data quality, we will bring what we call the RAG, or Retrieve Augmented Generation. It looks like complex concept, but actually it's very simple. So this morning was mentioned that data is key. So when you implement new LLMs or new models, you need to provide data, but the right data to the right people. Basically, with the RAG, it will help you to improve the accuracy of the responses you get from your LLMs. So here, as an example, I was using basically the credit card as a good example. Without RAG, if you ask a question to a generic model, you will get a generic answer. Basically, if I want to know how much money I still have in my credit card that I can spend, without the RAG, you will get a very generic response, which basically means the response that you will get is something like, your spending limit depends on your bank's policy. However, if you implement the RAG and you bring the right data to your model, you will get more appropriate answer with personalized answer as well. So with the RAG, you will get something that is more accurate. Something like, yeah, with your credit card, you still have $800 that you can spend in the next 2 weeks. So you have seen the difference. Without the RAG, you get a generic answer. With the RAG, you get really appropriate and personalized information. Now the challenge is how to implement the RAG. So this is where Axway can help you to streamline this journey and to bring the right data to the right model. Basically, Axway will be the building block, basically, that you will put in front of your LLMs, and this solution will connect to different data sources to gather and to collect the right information, will process this information to prepare that before feeding the LLMs with the right data. This is how basically we will help to improve the accuracy and data quality in terms of AI implementation. However, you still have the security challenge. By having the Axway solution in front of your LLMs, you will be able to handle the security part by identifying and the authentication capabilities that we will implement to be sure that the right users have access to the right information as well. I think it was mentioned earlier by Walid as well this morning. Data access. Data access is really, really important, and that's where Axway can help to secure these LLMs. The second point that I want to mention is the governance. It was mentioned earlier today. Governance is key. There's a lot of regulations. Companies and businesses have to comply with all these regulations. With Axway, we will be able to implement and set all these rules to make sure that you comply with the different regulations that are part of the market. And I think Walid this morning was using the HR example. This is exactly the same example that I'm using here. Basically, as a user, I can have access to LLM model. I can ask questions. The problem is I need to bring the right information to the right user. So let's imagine I'm an employee, a developer in the company. As an employee, I can ask an HR assistant a lot of questions. One of the questions can be, when is my next day off? And the assistant will give me the answer. Yeah, your next day off will be June 15. However, I'm a human, I can ask stupid questions as well. So I can ask, what's my manager's salary? So if I don't have any rules, I can get access to very sensitive information. So this is where Axway can help. We will help you to implement rules to make sure that you give access to the right people, to the right data. Now I want to use, and I think it was mentioned as well earlier this morning, the banks sector as an example. It's a highly regulated business. And basically, it was mentioned earlier today as well, there is regulations in EU, in US, everywhere actually there is a lot of regulation around the open banking. And actually AI was a key A key technology that was used to make sure that first, these banks comply with the regulation. So as large banks have to comply with different regulations, the EU1, PSD2, the Section 1033 in US, and there is another regulation in UK, Australia, etc. So global banks have to comply with different regulations. And basically with AI, this is something where AI helps to really improve the efficiency and improve the ability to comply as well with the regulations. But not only about the regulation, it was mentioned also this morning, is AI, the regulation doesn't impact the innovation. And this is where AI, for some banks that we work with, we have been able to go beyond the regulation and to leverage the regulation to generate new revenue channels. By very simple example is we have been able to streamline the fintech onboarding to contribute to the bank's innovation. So I'm short in time, but please join us to the booth. We are at B3, and don't forget to join our workshop as well. You will learn a bit more about how can we help you to make your AI initiative a successful story. Thank you.